Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, guten morgen, bonjour. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Ken at 10. How are you today? Thanks for joining us. It's Friday, my favorite day of the week, as if you're a regular viewer, you will already know. If you haven't been here before, then thank you for coming. We're James Alexander Estate Agents. We're based in an area called Norbury, which is situated between Croydon and Streatham, a Zone 3 commuting area. So probably representative of a lot of London commuter areas in and around London. So how are you today? Hope you're well. We're doing well. We've had an auction yesterday, and that was really exciting. We achieved a really good result. Our client is really happy, which is the single most important thing to us. It's having a client that's really satisfied with what you do and what you've done and the efforts you've made to try and look after them. Whilst we're on the subject of auctions, I should mention that we've just done a podcast. I've put the ticker on so you can look for our podcast. Just search out Ken Humes podcast and look for the dog. And the situation is that we had this week Toby from Network Auctions, and he's telling you all about how auctions work and what's going on in the world of auctions. Absolutely fascinating, including underwriting. If you haven't heard about what underwriting is, you must listen to the podcast. We'll also put it on as a show on YouTube and Facebook, so you can get an education on the world of auction. It's absolutely fascinating and completely different. You know, a lot of buyers do think, and sellers especially think, wow, how do they do this? And how do they exchange contracts? And then 4 weeks later, the money's in the bank. And for the rest of us, it's 10 to 12 weeks plus, and then maybe not. So auctions can be a beautiful thing, but there's pros and cons. And if you watch the interview with Toby from Network Auctions, hopefully it will give you an idea of what they're all about. So how are you today? I hope you're doing well. The forecast for this Bank Brolly weekend, which is what I usually call it because it's usually raining, isn't it? And this weekend is looking really sunny. Right now here in Norbury, the sun is out. We've got nice blue sky, few clouds, but just perfect for a video. We're doing a presentation video this morning, and it's looking bright for our video. And then this afternoon, we've got some valuations as well. Always a great time to go and look at houses as well. They always look more beautiful in the sunshine, don't they? Everything does. And then next week, we've got another edition of Homes Under the Hammer. We're in Streatham with a second look, and that should be interesting. And always love working with the BBC. It's great promotion for our company and something that many of you know we do on a regular basis, and always get texts and calls coming through, and always grateful that we're noticed and people know that we do that. And we take those skills and transpose them to help you sell your home in the way that we present videos for individual properties in order to try and help them sell. And, you know, we did that recently to great effect, and looking forward to doing another one today for a house on the Scots estate. On to property news now. Banks are calling for an overhaul of mortgage support. This is an interesting one. Banks and building societies are calling on ministers to extend help for those struggling to pay their mortgages owing to the financial effects of the coronavirus pandemic. Small mortgage interest is a loan available for some people in the UK on benefits, which is usually repaid when their property is sold. Applicants have to wait for 39 weeks after losing their job before they're able to make a claim. And banks want to cut this, quite rightly in my view, to 13 weeks, because after 13 weeks of no money, most people are in a desperate situation. So let's hope they get something done on that. The government has said that anyone struggling to pay their mortgage should first go to their lender, which has a duty to support them. However, Charles Rowe, Director of UK Finance, said the wait and time eligibility criteria for the support for mortgage interest is preventing much needed help going to struggling homeowners when they need it most. Before their financial circumstances get worse, mortgage arrears build up, and inevitably eviction happens. The industry news, common hold. There's a focus on common hold again. Now, common hold is what's going to replace leasehold, and this should be interesting to everybody in a leasehold property. And this is an article in the Law Society Gazette. Initiatives to promote common hold as an attractive alternative form of property ownership should focus on new build homes. The government has set up a common hold council to prepare homeowners in the property market for the widespread take-up of common hold. Charles Rowe, Director of Mortgages at UK Finance, told a Westminster Legal Policy Forum that a number of lenders are prepared to lend on common hold properties, but it's not as common as leasehold, and that's the problem, he added. As a country, we know and understand leasehold, both its flaws and positives. We need government intervention and widespread support to ensure common hold replaces leasehold successfully. That's interesting and something that we'll have more news on for you as we find out more about the implications of common hold. But a fascinating subject, and something that will be increasingly prevalent in the next few years, hopefully, and replacing some of the awful situations that some leaseholders with short leases particularly can face, let alone the doubling of ground rent scandal. Don't get me started on those builders that have completely stitched up their new owners, especially those first-time buyers that have been adversely affected. The Express has got a headline: homes with a garden become the new must-have for buyers. A home with a garden is becoming increasingly popular amongst buyers, according to new research covered out by Financial Solutions Market. The pandemic has seen city centre living demand decreasing and many people moving to more rural locations. And when searching for a property and comparing the results of the same property to 2019, it found that a garden or outdoor space was the single most important factor, driving more than 92% of buyers said it was very important or important. So yeah, that's it. Not many other things in the news today. The other thing is key questions to ask estate agents during the pandemic. There's a key question estate agents need to consider at valuation. The key question you need to consider is, would you like a quick sale or would you not? Yeah, it's a terrible way to start a conversation. Personally, I start a conversation with, why are you moving and how can we help you get there? What is it you need? And then we can talk about the money. It shouldn't be about the money. It should be about, first of all, what you need, when you need it by, and how we can help you get there. And certainly, we're up for that. So yeah, Friday's a really important day of the week if you're an estate agent. And the reason it's important is it's the day we get everybody out for the weekend viewing. So we make sure that our properties have got the best chance of selling against their competitor properties, where other agencies will be calling people and saying, would you like to view this weekend? What have you got planned? Can we entice you to see this property? This is what's great about it. These are the reasons why you should see it and how it will fit into your circumstances. And that's the most important thing, is rather than just saying to people, I've got something in your price range, actually to have a discussion around why they're moving, understand why they're moving, and then relate the benefits of the property that we're trying to sell to them to that particular circumstance. And if it doesn't fit, don't mudsling, have that discussion with them. Say, these are the reasons why it doesn't fit, but these are the reasons why it might. And then see where it goes. But whatever you do, if you want to be a good agent, make sure that you're transparent in that. And if you don't have the right thing, then point them to it. There's nothing wrong. Sometimes we'll point buyers to other properties from other agents if we feel that they've got the right one and we haven't, rather than that buyer doesn't find what they want. They'll remember you, and they always do. And that's why we get a lot of good feedback from buyers as well. So apart from that, hope you have a fabulous bank holiday. We're certainly looking forward to it, as we always do. I'll shortly publish that auction podcast. We did a video version of it as well on the channels, and I hope you enjoy that. We'll be back on Tuesday with another edition of Ken at 10. Until then, look after yourselves and your family. Have a fantastic bank holiday, and we'll speak to you next week.